Welcome to this week's inspiration weekly message for you. And this week, what you really need to understand is it doesn't matter how chaotic things look on the outside in your life. It doesn't matter what's going on. Everything that is happening in your life is happening for you. If it is stirring up stuff, well, I'm going to say sort of like negative emotional responses and so on and so forth from you, negative emotional reactions, what it's doing is it's pointing out to you the things that you need to look at and alchemize. Whenever we have a negative reaction to something, what's going on is that there's something that was never dealt with properly in the first place that's being triggered, okay, which actually is now coming up to the surface and saying, please see me, I want to be dealt with, I want to be healed, I want to be alchemized, I want to be released, okay? And you may well find this week that you're going to have that kind of stuff going on, and all it is literally the external showing you where your internal has things going on that need to be addressed in some way or other. Now, the best thing that you can do in order to create movement in any direction is to gain clarity first and foremost on what it is that you want to create. And I could go back to last week's message here and talking about co-creation. What is it that you're co-creating next? This is being underlined, okay? There is a divine order to everything. Where there is chaos in your life and you're feeling confusion and all the rest of it, basically it's just underlining to you the fact that there's stuff in the background that is causing this lack of clarity, okay? And in order to actually deal with the lack of clarity in order to move forwards in the way that you really want to, okay, you have to actually do that work and go within. Now, you can do this with help, you can do this by yourself. If you've never done energy work before, it's a really good idea to work with someone who's also got good perceptive and intuitive abilities who can help be a guide for your work, basically, when you're doing this. What I want to say is, like, one of the most powerful things that you can do as an initial step is actually getting really fucking quiet and getting rid of all the distractions, turning your phone off, all the rest of it, and just sitting with it and allowing yourself to identify the feelings that are arising. Most people aren't very good at sitting in silence, at sitting with their own energies and emotions. We are basically a nation, a tribe, you know, this is going out globally to anyone who is going to connect with it. As a species, as human beings, we are very fucking good at distracting ourselves. We are past masters at it. Like, we use phones, we use TV, we use substances, we use alcohol, we use social situations. There's so many different ways in which we distract ourselves from the things that actually want to be looked at and loved and listened to and transcended and so on and so forth. This week, if there's uncomfortable stuff coming up, don't do that thing that people do of delving into some form of distraction, you know, bottle of wine or whatever the fuck it might be, okay? Decide that you're actually going to do yourself a favour and sit down. You sit down with a journal. You can do a brain dump and actually just free write everything that wants to come through. You'll get some really canny answers if you just literally sit and free write things on a page and allow, rather than thinking about it, just allow the words to come out. You will actually start to make sense of what's going on. If you can't identify how you're feeling, because we have also been conditioned to not really understand our feelings, okay? So the more that you can actually get comfortable with sitting with your feelings and your emotions and actually identifying them. The other thing you do, a bit of EFT, karate chop points, really good for that, actually. If you tap on something, maybe that's what I'll do this week. I don't, generally speaking, I never make videos on EFT, but I find EFT is really, really good for getting clarity on what the fuck is going on subconsciously. That is like showing up as like all this chaos in the external world, right? So just tapping. So you can start off by saying, oh, it appears I'm turning this into an EFT video now. Okay, let's just fucking roll with it, shall we? Okay, so tapping on this. You can like, I am feeling confused because, and then just free form, allow yourself, because what happens is when you're tapping on this karate chop point here, okay, this is connected to the meridians to do with your digestive system and your bowels, for want of a better way of putting it. Now our bowels, part of our excretory system, basically are where we have a tendency to hold on to old shit. That correlates to stuff that's going on in the subconscious, which correlates to how our health is showing up in our bodies and so on and so forth. Everything's connected. Okay. When you tap on this point, you are tapping in directly to your subconscious, to all of the bits that are like old shit that needs to be released. Okay. And with that, you are essentially opening up the channel for you to be able to, like, without trying to think of it, you just tap on this point for a bit. And you can name how you're feeling that you can identify. I am frustrated because something isn't happening, and the reason for this is, okay, and then just see what wants to come out of your mouth. You will gain so much insight through doing this, okay? You don't even need to go into all the rest of it, the top of the head and all the rest of it, but like just to get clarity on what the fuck is going on that you actually need to sit with and deal with, okay? Super, super powerful, simple, easy, self-administered. Don't have to go to anyone else to see it for you. You can just do this for yourself, okay? Super, super easy. But it does require that little bit of patience. If you've never done this before, if you're not used to talking to yourself, get used to it. I'd say actually one of the reasons why I'm so good at energy work and why I'm so good at pinpointing my own stuff and other people's stuff as well and tapping into it is because ever since I was a kid, I've had a habit of talking to myself, or, you know, talking to guides and stuff as well. And I used to be told all the time when I was younger, it's the first sign of madness. Now I'd say I talk to myself all the time and it helps me to gain clarity. I'm very verbal with the way I express things and with the way I process things. Some people are like that. You might not be that person, but if you are, good on you. And if you're not, it can be a very, very useful thing, like to actually start listening to your own stream of consciousness. You'll tell yourself when you do this what's bothering you, okay? Particularly when you are tapping on a meridian point that's literally allowing you to access that subconscious energy that you're holding on to that most of the time you're not aware of, apart from the fact it's showing up as chaos in your outer world, okay? So yeah, that's this week's message. Everything is in divine order. Even when it looks like chaos, it's just showing you something that's going on internally that you need to sort out, okay? And fastest way you can get into understanding what the fuck it is that's going on is this. If you would like to work with me, you can find details of how to do so via all the links in my bio on here or somewhere around this video, depending on where you're seeing it. If you're on TikTok, I will be putting some URLs on the screen that you can't click on. If you're on YouTube, that are in the drop down box down below the video, basically. And I'm sending you so much love. Mwah. And if you want to come and join on Instagram, I'm now doing live streams on Instagram at 3:30 in the afternoon on Monday. So you can come and find me there for a live stream with card pulls and things, talking about the energetic themes for the week in a bit more of a long-winded format, okay? Mwah. Lots of love. Bye for now.